Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're exploring a really profound philosophical metaphor that honestly touches on something every single one of us has felt at some point. We're talking about that deep, just unshakable yearning for hope, for a truly meaningful existence, and for our voices to actually be heard. We're delving into this intricate allegory from a deeply profound theological text known as the 10th Word. It decodes a narrative that asks a fundamental, almost ultimate question about the nature of requests, responses, and the whole shebang of what life is actually about. It's a fascinating text, and we are going to break it all down together.
Think about the people closest to you for a second. If someone you love deeply, and I mean truly, profoundly care about, stood right before you and sincerely asked for something that was incredibly important to them, would you turn them down? Could you just walk away? Of course not. No way. It's a deeply human instinct to respond to the sincere pleas of the people we cherish. We literally bend over backward to help the people we love, right? We want to fulfill their needs, especially when they're asking from a place of genuine, raw vulnerability.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because taking that fundamental human instinct and scaling it way, way up is exactly what our source material does today. We are taking this very relatable, everyday emotional connection and applying it to this grand, cosmic allegorical framework. The text really forces us to ask, how does this dynamic of love, requesting and answering play out, not just between you and a friend, but between humanity and the creator of the universe?
Part 1. The King's Most Beloved.
So picture this. Imagine a ridiculously powerful king and his absolute most cherished companion standing before a massive, sprawling assembly of people. The stakes here are incredibly high, and the relationship between this king and his companion is one of profound mutual respect, closeness, and love. Right in front of this vast crowd, the beloved companion makes a deeply moving plea. He says, "Show us the reality of these beauties. Take us to your presence. Have mercy on us. Do not leave us to perish in this temporary place." Wow. This isn't just a casual request for a quick favor. It is a profound, desperate, and beautiful plea for eternal existence. He's looking around at the temporary, fleeting nature of their world and asking the ultimate authority for something permanent. He's asking for mercy, for truth, and for survival beyond the temporary constraints of their current reality.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the incredible contrast it sets up. The text calls this the trusted friend's paradox. See, the story establishes that this king is so incredibly powerful and compassionate that he routinely grants the absolute smallest, most ordinary requests of his common servants. Like literally, no detail is too small for him. So the paradox is this: how on earth could a king who meticulously attends to those tiny, minor details possibly reject the ultimate plea we just heard? How could he ignore the most beautiful, sincere request coming from his most beloved person? Logically and emotionally, it simply doesn't add up.
Part 2. A universal principle of consistency.
To resolve this paradox, we kind of have to shift gears from the metaphor to the underlying logic, what the text refers to as the principle of consistency. As it's defined here, a power that cares for the smallest requests will not ignore the most sincere and meaningful plea. In the context of the allegory, it implies a really powerful theological argument. Basically, a creator who meticulously manages the tiniest details of existence, someone who answers the minor, everyday prayers of ordinary creatures, must inherently, by the very nature of his consistency and boundless compassion, answer the greatest, most ultimate prayer ever made. To do otherwise would be a massive, glaring contradiction of that immense compassion.
So the crucial point is that the beloved's prayer in the story isn't just a selfish ask for one individual. Actually, scratch that. It's bigger than that. This plea actually represents the universal human condition. It's the core desire for a lasting, eternal existence. It's that profound need we all have for a meaningful conclusion to our lives, rather than just fading into nothingness. It's a shared longing across all of humanity. Every single one of us wants our lives to mean something permanent. The beloved in the story is acting as the ultimate spokesperson for this deeply rooted, shared human yearning for immortality.
Part 3. Where does hope stem from?
And this brilliantly illustrates how this allegorical story connects directly back to the theology it's based on. The source draws a direct line from the logic of that grand metaphor right to this specific Quranic verse, Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 186. "When my servants ask about me, I am near. I answer the prayer of the supplicant." This is the Creator formally promising proximity and response. It completely, absolutely validates the principle of consistency we just discussed. The greatest prayer for eternity, asked by the most beloved on behalf of all humanity, is met with the ultimate textual assurance that the Creator is listening, is near, and will respond.
We've explored the logic of the king, the beautiful plea of the beloved, and the promise of the Creator found in the text.
But to wrap up this explainer, I want to turn it over to you. Do you carry hope that your deepest, most sincere wish won't go unanswered? When you face the temporary nature of everything around us, where does that hope for something lasting truly feed from? Take a moment to reflect deeply on that. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and keep asking the big questions.